Hi, my name is Fern. Today I'm going to explain to you how you can prepare for your O or A-level exams when you do your self-study. So first of all, it's important to calm and relax your mind. You can do breathing exercise or you can play light music in the background while you do your study. Okay, so after that, it's important to remove distraction, especially our phone. Okay, let me show you how we can do it. Okay, so this is a light music I play in the background. Okay, I want to explain to you how to do the remove the distraction. So if you go to this website, or basically you can pause the video later and find this in your phone. Okay, so the thing is, if you go to the setting and you open the digital well-being and parental controls, you'll be able to see this screen. Yeah, and you are able to select the app that distract you. And from there, you can also set the timing. Okay, how long you will spend on each app before they remind you, okay, that it will close the app for you. So if you have problem restricting yourself from touching your phone, going to social media, so you can use this app. Okay, for more details, you can refer to the link later. Okay, I'll put it in the comment. Okay, and the other app I felt very useful is this YPT. YPT app, it's actually has a few functions. Okay, let me show you. Okay, so when you open this app, they show you the different subjects and you can set, and when you start the timer, it will actually record how much time you have spent on each subject, right? So, and actually, if you join this, you can actually join the study with other app user, where then you felt that you are not studying alone. Okay. Okay, so they have focus mode, locking out distraction, just like the app that I showed you earlier. I mean, the other one where we set the digital well-being control there in the setting, they also help you to avoid distraction. Okay, so you can take a look later after the video. Okay, I'll put in the comment where you can find the link, or you can just go and download the app YPT. Okay, so before you do that, we are going to start on how to prepare your exams. Okay, so in this video, I will use O-level exam as an example of how to prepare. So take note of the SEAB website, which is the Singapore Examination Assessment Board. So this is a website for the GCE O-level, and there is another website. This is for the A-level. But in the similar way, when you scroll it down, they show you all the subjects that you are taking. Okay, and there are this code number. Okay, so now in this video, I'll use GCE O-level as an example. So for example, if you go into the social studies, okay, you can, so the first part, there's a social study. And of course, second part would be the geography for this website. Okay, so if you look at this social studies, there's three issues. Okay, so they give you the aims. What is the aims of the subjects? Okay, and all this you can skip. All right, the main thing that we are interested, okay, would be the questions. All right, the questions that they already set up like this. Okay, for example, what does citizenship mean to me, and the content. So this can be used as a note. If you're able to print out, that would be nice. So you can highlight and you can actually do a cover to test yourself, like you can cover with a piece of paper, all this on the right side, and then you try to answer the question. Like, for example, this one, what does citizenship mean to me? So what do you think is the answer on the right side? So you think first before you see, okay? So therefore, from there, you will be able to test your knowledge or how much you have studied or how much can you remember after you have done your study. Refer to the official website because they already help you to put the question, the Q&A format. So then you start writing your new notes. However, we still need to handwritten our own notes, okay, because it will be different from this. Okay, but this one is like a quick way of refreshing all those that you have studied so far in school. Okay, so go to the SEAB website. If you are able to answer all this question, you are really halfway there to your study through revision, okay? Okay, the other important thing is to set up your study timetable. Okay, for example, maybe from 9 to 1, you are in school, but if holidays, let's say during the June holiday, you may have different way of starting your days. Okay, and it's good to start your day early if you want to study more. However, I know that there are some students that they work better at night. Okay, so put it down so that you will stay focused and stick to your timetable. Okay, that is another way if you want to have progress in your study. Okay, including a break. You can add in your break, like from what time to what time you go for a 30 minutes break. If you cannot stay long at your study table, you can study like every 40 minutes, you go for 10 minutes break. And then you can extend longer. Okay, and if you have a short study session, then your break should be short. If you have a long study session, then you should go for a longer, like a lunch break. Okay, so this is important. Okay, the next one is that I think most of you know this website. So they have a lot of paper. Okay, so I just pick up one of the website on the social studies again for O-level. So if you think that you're going to cover all your school textbook before you come to the exam paper, I would really urge you not to. Okay, because I do not want you coming to near to exam period, then you realize you're not familiar to apply your concept into doing the exam questions. So it's good to start early, even you have not studied your textbook. Okay, we do backwards learning. Means that you go to the question. Like now if you have not seen this question format before, whether you're A-level or O-level students, okay, you just take a look, just a quick glance. How does the exam paper look like? Okay, just be familiar, befriend your exam paper. And like we can see that they talk about there's A, B, C, D study sources. And then if you go there, you go down, they give you some insert here. Okay, where they show you there's a picture here. Okay, so this is source A. So then you know, oh, this source A is the one that we're referring to in the first page. Okay, on the first page, it says study source A. Do you think the cartoonist supports the healthcare service? Healthcare system? Explain your answer using the details of the cartoon. So now if you see this picture again, and then, okay, this is the answer. So you can actually study the answer first. Even you don't know how to answer, okay, try to imagine what would you like write for your answer. Try to think of the answer that you will write before you look at the answers model. It could be just even 5 minutes. You struggled and then you can just give up easily. Because if this is your first paper, you don't have to try too hard to think of the answer first. Okay, just look at the answer. Because the answer sheet, sometimes they give you some information how to do the question. Okay, so they actually suggest if it's a 1 mark question, it will be just like 1 line. If you write longer, okay, like this, they will give you 2 to 3 marks. So let's look at the 4 to 5 marks question. So you can see that it's much longer, and then they give the higher mark if you inferring the cartoonist stance in the context. Okay, like this. All right. So they write longer. So from there, you will know, okay, what to expect when you do your exam paper. Okay. So it's being familiarized with your exam paper before you finish all your school textbook. You do backward. For example, after you read the answers, there's something that you do not know, you go back to your textbook and refer to some of the concept. Okay, so do not start studying your school textbook before the exam paper. If you do not understand your textbook, or if you do not understand your exam paper, then you go back to your textbook, or you can ask your teachers how to do some questions. Okay, so this is important. And then the other way to remember your facts is you can use Quizlet. Okay, I'm sure you all are familiar with Quizlet. Okay, and as you do your exam paper, okay, anything that you learn during the exam paper, for example, it could be your science or social studies or any other subjects, give a heading and some subheadings, and then you can write the definition and some concept that you have learned from the exam question, or even write out the answers for your, like a Q&A, okay, record all the questions and answers in your notebook as your guideline and highlight them. So this notebook will be your handbook. So before your exams, during the that last 1 or 2 weeks near to exam, you might not have so much time attending question as before. So you can have a quick flashback, just glancing through your notebook that you have accumulated over time. Okay, so to recap what we have go through together just now. Okay, first of all, set timer for your study, download app for your study, and use the SEAB guideline to understand what you're supposed to learn for your study. Okay, and remember to do a timetable. Okay, and lastly, attempt exam questions and do quiz and do some notes for your study. Okay, I hope all this has helped. Okay, that's all.